What's up, guys? This is Ray, and today we'll be talking about the 2018 Japanese movie, The Traveling Cat Chronicles, directed by Miki Koichiro and starring Fukushi Sota. And this is an adaptation of a novel which I have not read. And when this movie came out in the theaters last year, I deliberately skipped on it just because when it comes to movies of the drama genre, I tend to not watch them in the theaters just because I feel like, just this is just for me. They're aimed for people who are just looking for a tear to shed a tear, looking for a tearjerker story. And when it comes to movies that I like to spend money on to watch in the theater, it's usually those movies usually aren't dramas. And the story of the Traveling Cat Chronicles is about this dude by the name of Satoru. And he picks up this stray cat called Nana. And Nana is actually voiced by Takahata Mitsuki. And, she can speak to the audience. We can actually hear Nana's voice. But anyway, Satoru, he loves cats and he wants to keep Nana as a pet. However, circumstances in his life have changed. And so he is no longer able to keep Nana as his cat. So he goes around, talks to different friends and family in order to try to find Nana a new home. And that's actually where it starts. I'm pretty sure, with me hinting that this movie is of the drama variety, there's definitely a lot more to the story than the synopsis I provided. But without diving into spoilers, let's talk about the positives of the Traveling Cat Chronicles. I like Fukushi Sota. I think he's an actor I genuinely try to watch every work that he's puts out, just because I've been a fan ever since he popped up in Kamen Rider Forze. So it's fun to see the dudes that come along and make their career big, guys who have their roots in tokusatsu. And I think his performance as Satoru, you get the same kind of charm you would expect from a role played by Fukushi Sota. He doesn't disappoint with that. So other fans of Fukushi Sota, you definitely will be pleased in his performance here. And I also like the voice performance by Takahata Mitsuki. I don't think she is a voice actress by trade. However, her performance as Nana, of course, Nana being a cat, I think cat lovers out there will have a natural affinity towards Nana as a character. But I think Takahata's performance actually definitely added a lot more entertainment value to it. And so I definitely love the kind of dialogue that was being spouted by Nana. As a cat owner myself, there's a lot of things that just tickle me the right way. And something I liked about the way the story goes, when Satoru goes to visit each of his friends and family while trying to look for a new home for Nana, you actually get to know a little more about Satoru's past and how he comes to grow as a man. You get from the very first dude he visits, it's one of his childhood friends who was there when they're friends ever since elementary school. So you get to see an episode of Satoru's life when he's a kid, and then you even fast forward to when he tries to give Nana to his former crush and also his old high school buddy. You get to see a period of his life that focuses on what he was doing in high school, and you get to see his growth as a character from that point. And I think that was pretty interesting. And what this essentially did is that it got you to get to know and to like Satoru more and more as the story went along. And I think the supporting actors in this movie did a great job as well. I think my favorite performer in this story, other than Fukushi Sota, was Takeuchi Yuka, who plays the aunt of Fukushi Sota. I think there was definitely a lot of weight with not only her performance but her character itself and the backstory of this character and her relationship with Satoru. And I think that was definitely one of the emotional anchors of this story. But definitely the biggest emotional anchor was the relationship between Satoru and Nana. After all, this story is about them two. And I think, with them two at the head of the story, I think for those of you who are looking for a nice story about a pet owner and their pet, but it goes beyond more than just a simple pet owner and pet status. You actually get to feel like these two are family. And, I think a great pet story, so long as they deliver that kind of message and they deliver it well, then it works well for the movie. And that's definitely the case with the Traveling Cat Chronicles. And as far as the negatives I have to say about the Traveling Cat Chronicles, but as I mentioned earlier, I don't like to watch dramas in the movie theater just because I feel like they usually go one type of way. And I think that's the case with this movie. I think, you can kind of predict what's going to happen just because, of course, it's going to end in tears. It can only end in a couple possible ways. And I'm pretty sure if, before even watching the trailer of this movie, if you decide to watch this movie, you can kind of guess one of three ways that this movie will end. and I'm pretty sure this movie will end one of those exact ways. But overall, what do I have to say about the Traveling Cat Chronicles? You know, it's fun. For me, this wasn't a strong enough drama to really let my man tears flow out, but I do enjoy watching cats on screen, being a cat owner myself. Any kind of movie that features cats, I'm automatically drawn to. Just I want to see what they do with cats. I tend to like cat movies over dog movies. That's just me as a person. And this movie, you know, I got to feel entertainment value just in watching the relationship between Sota and Nana, just because, you know, they did very well, as I said, creating this kind of relationship between a cat owner and their cat. But when it comes to the dramatic points of the Traveling Cat Chronicles, I think it was okay. I think if you're one who cries easily when watching dramatic movies, this movie might get you. But I feel like, you know, there are other movies that can hit you harder when it comes to its emotional punches. This movie is kind of like in between, I think. But, you know, there's a good balance between dramatic and tear-jerking moments, and also moments just filled with cuteness thanks to Nana and the other animals that populate the story. Do I recommend this movie? I guess. I mean, like I'm not usually the first one to recommend to watch any kind of drama stories. And this movie was okay. Like, you know, it's definitely not one of my favorite dramas to come out, nor is it one of my least favorites. It's like somewhere in the middle. But I think those of you who are looking for a touching story revolved around a dude and his cat, then you'll definitely be satisfied with this movie. But if you're looking for something serious, something memorable to seek out, then this movie may not be one to go with. But anyways, yes, those are my thoughts on the Traveling Cat Chronicles. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And by all means, if you really dig my content, please know you can support Eiga-Man Ray over at Patreon from as little as $1. And yeah, that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.